Feeling fine. Thank you.
Voice sounds like it's coming back.
Hi,
Yes, Sheila.
how are you?
Good, doing good.
Feeling fine.
Okay.
Hi, Jean.
Hello.
Voice sounds like it's coming back.
She'll be back. There she is. Okay. Mary Ellen, you should be live.
Okay.
And now I'll do it. Now I can't let, so put me on, please. Your host now.
Okay. But you already took us live, which was the important part. That's what you have to be host for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll reclaim host and you can.
I made you host. Just
Oh,
make
good.
me co-host and I'll go out and pull the link down.
Okay. There you go. Your co-host.
Yeah,
Lucky person.
you just have to be host to get the more down there so that you can go live.
Okay, David is now coming on. Did you talk, have you done anything with him regarding the congregational meeting yet?
No,
Okay,
but I'll have to ask him if he needs the numbers.
okay,
I think I'll need
They're all, the numbers are always the same. So Sheila, in the notice, the member ID and the passcode were sent, but the dial-in phone numbers weren't sent. That's all.
Okay.
Mary
Oh,
Ellen, thank you for
Temple
sending
time?
everything.
David, welcome.
Okay, welcome.
Hi, David.
Hi,
Hey,
David.
how are you, Bob? Mary Ellen, are you feeling better?
Yeah, I feel okay. I have a sore throat just from the sinus stuff.
Sounds
Yeah.
sad.
And my throat, I'm starting to lose my voice again, but I got another medication from my doctor. Hopefully that'll help fix this sinus battle I'm having this season. I'm just sending you what you asked for in your voicemail, David.
Okay. I had no trouble printing the PDF for the Theta.
Oh, good.
Everything went beautiful. Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
We're here.
We're here.
Oh,
We're just-
okay.
We're just
Okay.
contemplating.
Quiet. What's
Quiet.
new? That's Sheila?
Nothing's new, David. Everything's good.
Same old thing, David.
Same old, day later.
Well, every day is a new day with me.
Well, I guess so.
They just took the mask mandate off just now today. Lenny Curry took the
They
mask.
I think that's terrible.
It's got
I
to,
do too.
That's
I
got-
think that's awful.
that's stupid. That is really crazy. I'll still
Well,
wear a
they-
mask. I don't care. I'll still wear a mask though.
Yeah. When you're
Oh.
outside, with a lot of people wear the mask.
If you're out of your mind, you'll still wear a mask. Any sensible person.
I will.
Well, I'm not saying there are a lot of nonsensical persons.
You're
A lot of,
right.
lot of lunatics out there.
Somehow.
Yeah. Well,
Well, is the congregational meeting in the Temple Times notice?
It is, the connection is not in the Temple Times. That's a separate message that was sent out.
But we do have the login and the ID and passcode, Gene. It's on a
Okay,
separate.
then it is in the Temple Times. It's sent out so that the non-members don't get it. in other words, we have a lot of people that request the temple times. So it was sent out in a way that they don't get it.
Okay. Well, this one has it, so.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I have it, so I'll try to find it in my emails, so.
I
Well,
can
if you
find,
don't find this, let us know Monday, okay?
Okay, Jean, shall do.
if I can find it.
I'm surprised there's not more people.
No.
Yeah,
It's only 20 to 7.
almost a quarter too.
Yeah. Is Rabbi Dress joining us tonight too?
I understand he is.
Okay, okay.
What are you doing for your first night of Passover?
We're gonna go, we're gonna have a Seder with some friends. We got about 6 people at the Seder, so we're gonna go to Seder. We're going to,
My daughter-
we're going to Marsha Grado's house.
Oh, that's nice.
And
My
then,
daughter and son-in-law are making it, so just us and the kids and my 2 boys, that's it.
Saul and Paulette are gonna join us too, so we got 6 people, so it'll be fun.
Very nice.
I'm going to a Seder with 7 people.
That's about okay, 7. You wouldn't want to go with someone that has 20 and some more
No, no,
people.
no.
Oh, no, I don't know of anybody.
You gotta know the people that you're going to. Everybody's been vaccinated who we're going with, so.
Unfortunately, my 4 great-grandchildren have not been vaccinated.
Oh, oh,
Young. So, but I'm going to see them anyway, hopefully, that they will be there.
right,
Find out tomorrow.
right. And then Sunday we'll join the virtual Seder.
And now my son-in-law makes both nights, so
Okay, thanks both nights, okay.
my daughter's been cooking for 2 days.
It's a lot of work to have a Seder, I know that.
Yeah, well, she does it. She's done all the cooking by herself.
Wow. A lot of work.
Yeah. She made her soup yesterday. She made her brisket today. So she's good. She makes a good brisket too.
Last year we ordered from Pastiche and when the food wasn't that great, that's just my taste.
I heard that. I heard that.
Last year, the food was not great, and it was much cheaper than this year. So,
Right.
Oh, great. So they raised the price.
Yep.
Dish is out.
Hi, Sandy and Marlene.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Sandy. Hey, Marlene.
Thanks, Sheila.
Hi, Sandy and Pauline.
David.
It's a beautiful day out there today. It was great to be out.
I don't know.
It was like 90 degrees. But
It's nice out though.
yeah, I like it was good.
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful.
Yep.
I ran lots of errands and walked. So from one store to another.
Right. Hope we get more people. Here comes some more people.
Early yet.
So Sandy, you go out today? Sandy, did you go out today?
What?
Did you go out today?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Bunch
It
of
was
times.
warm.
It was pretty hot, like 90 degrees. Hi,
I was
Susan.
cooking
Hi,
our
everybody. How you doing?
We're good.
Shabbat shalom.
So,
Hello, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How about you?
Just fine.
Good,
Looking
Gary.
forward to all the good Passover food.
and we were too.
You know what? It was very difficult to find this year. Publix had almost nothing.
Out of it, they were out of a lot of things. Yeah.
I don't think they got a lot of things. That was the problem.
They got it late. When Dixie had a lot.
I don't know. My daughter had trouble getting it at the new one. And I think what happens is they base their order on what they sold last year. And last year probably was not a big year for Passover. You know, with COVID, a lot of people didn't have big seders or a lot of people. So they might not have bought as much. So if the vendor comes in and sees that all of his stuff is still sitting there, he bases this year's order on that. It
No,
isn't.
they had many vendor trips this year. I spoke to the manager.
Which store though, David?
Winn-Dixie, the one
Oh,
in.
Winn-Dixie. Okay, because Publix.
We went to both Winn-Dixies and to Publix.
Well, the biggest Winn-Dixie is the one the new one they just built on Loretto and San Jose.
Right.
Yeah,
Used to be on the other side of the street. Now it moved across the street. That's
but the one on University has a bigger selection of Passover food.
That's
Not
always the
this
best
year.
one. That's always the best
Not
one.
this year. It didn't. It didn't.
Susan,
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Susan, you said it's the biggest. It happens to be their smallest in the area.
Oh, is it? It's the newest one. It's the
Right, it's
newest
the
one.
newest, but
They
it's
took
very
over.
small.
But usually that store carried more Jewish food than any other Winn-Dixie because of all the Orthodox that live closer to it.
Right.
This Winn-Dixie.
Welcome, Rabbi.
Set up
Hi,
to
Rabbi.
carry
Hi,
a
Rabbi.
lot.
Hi, Rabbi.
You know it's in 5 different areas, right?
Right, and different stores get different amounts.
No.
So.
The one in Mandarin has everything set according to what you want. Dry goods, meat, dairy, frozen. They're all in different sections.
Okay. I couldn't even find matzo meal. I couldn't find matzo meal this year.
Yeah, I can do all over the store.
I know I got, there was plenty there. They ran out of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My Goldie said she went after chocolate covered matzahs and she bought 10 boxes. Well, most people don't buy chocolate
How
covered.
many did you buy? You bought a bunch of chocolate matches.
My grandchildren love it.
What's not to like?
What's not to like about chocolate covered matzahs?
Nothing. Nothing. Sounds delicious.
Hi,
Well, she's
Susan.
giving it away.
Whatever we got, we got.
Jen.
We'll have our Passover with whatever she got.
Now, Publix told me initially they had trouble getting wine this year, but I went in the other day and they had plenty of wine.
Okay.
Manischewitz anyway, which I don't drink, but they had plenty of it. When Dixie had plenty of wine, but it was in the wine section, not in the.
Right, they just move it all over the place. They move it
Shalom,
all.
everybody. Shalom.
Hello, Cheryl.
Shabbat shalom.
Sharon.
How's everybody doing?
Good,
Good.
how are you?
We're doing well, thank you.
Hi,
That's
Gina.
good.
Good morning, good
Hi.
evening.
Hey, Gina, Bob, Gina. I see Sandy over there, Marlene.
Hi.
Susan, how's Gary doing?
It's about the same. You know, it's
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah. Oh, I like your hairstyle. It's cute.
Is he ready for Passover?
Marcia and Dan, welcome.
Hey, Lee.
And Marcia.
Lee, how are you doing, my dear? Good seeing you.
You too.
Uh-huh. Marilyn.
Hello.
Weinstein, and here we have Dan and
And the
Marcia.
same old crowd.
yeah, the same crowd. I see
Yeah.
some new faces.
Hi,
tonight.
Marilyn.
Oh, yeah. there's
Hello.
always-
Yeah,
Welcome,
maybe.
Tanner.
Thank you.
Hi,
That's
Andrew.
shalom, Tanner.
I had an out-of-town daughter visiting for the week.
Oh, nice.
There you are. Hi, Cantor. How you doing?
How are you?
Okay. Hello,
Carrie, how
Rabbi
you doing?
Agnes.
How
By
y'all
the way,
doing?
Cantor, do you need another music stand by any chance?
Sure.
Okay. All righty. I pulled it out of my storage bin because I'm downsizing the storage bin, getting rid of as much stuff as I can. It's a nice one. It'll, sturdy. It'll last you forever.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, Canterbury.
Ask if she's ready for Passover.
Hi, Linda.
Answer.
Hi. Cantor, y'all ready for Passover?
Whatever that means.
Hmm?
No, I mean, I'm ready for some things. Not for other things. There are deadlines, and I have to go by the deadlines.
Well, I guess
To you, it's a holiday. To me, it's a job.
Well, I've been eating matzo ball soup all week already.
You're very honest anyway. You're very honest.
The Seder for Sunday night is done.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Who's going to be at your Seder table?
At mine,
Yeah.
my husband and my elder son and my younger son.
Oh, and Rabbi's going to be at another place?
Oh, you mean on Sunday night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking, what is Saturday night or Sunday
No,
night?
Sunday night, no one's at that Seder table because I'll be upstairs leading a Seder for everybody else.
Yeah.
Saturday night
It's just
is when we do our family Seder.
Oh, okay.
Carrie.
Yes, Rabbi.
I got my first pandemic email, Passover email,
To you.
picture that is like an empty mask. With
Oh, wasn't that one wonderful?
An empty mask.
Yeah.
Elijah.
For Elijah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's funny.
Okay.
But the mask mandate has been lifted, by the way. The mask mandate has been
Hi,
lifted.
Michael.
I know, isn't that terrible?
It's very crazy.
If you want to pick the worst news of the day, that's it.
Yeah.
What?
The mask
The
mandate-
mask mandate.
That the mayor of Jacksonville lifted the mask mandate
Yeah.
in Duval County.
Terrible.
That's terrible. But stores could
People have to
still,
stop wearing masks.
Let everybody die. Let everybody die.
stores could have their own rules, which I hope they do.
But the stores can still insist that you wear a mask in their store.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in
Baptist Hospital today.
Yeah, we're only going to stores that enforce the mask mandate.
I won't
Ridiculous.
walk into a store without.
Is
everything
okay, Karen?
Yeah, I just went for my mammogram.
Oh.
Now I'm allowed to get a haircut.
Are you?
I wouldn't make an appointment for a haircut till I made my appointment for a mammogram.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
First things first. Principle. You do something you don't want to do in order to do something you do want to do.
Absolutely.
First things first, the important things first. Exactly. That always more important.
You have to get your hair done.
I'm getting used to long hair for me.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello. Charlie.
Hello.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Linda, Sheila, Jean, everybody else.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Lawsons. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Oh, yeah. These people look familiar. Hello, Ian and Bernard DePaul.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot. How you doing, Lee?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
Harriet. Hello, Harriet.
Hi, Harriet.
We're here.
Harriet.
How you doing?
Harriet.
Hi, Harriet.
Oh, there she is. Lynn.
Wait, I'm here on mute here.
Cantor, have you had the vaccine?
I've had my first one. I get my second one on Monday.
All right, yay.
Good job, yay.
Excellent.
Great.
Good.
I'm driving to Eckvelt for it though, because we had appointments past Tallahassee.
This happened.
What?
What?
Black.
What about
You
it?
have to unstick it to get it to twist. See which way you're supposed to twist it? Look at it.
You had to go all the way out to Tallahassee.
This way.
I was gonna say the Publix on Old St. Augustine has a sign in right when you walk in the door. You can just go in there and get the shot.
Oh, or even Regency Mall too.
When I scheduled my first one 3 weeks ago, that wasn't the case. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to the original place for your second?
I think so. I think
they
so.
won't let me switch.
I think,
I got really lucky. I got really lucky. I had a friend that took me up to Gateway, and I had the one time J&J in and out in an hour. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
I would never have gone up there by myself. It's not a great neighborhood.
Right.
No, it's not a good neighborhood. Yes.
Yeah, but the Navy did it all. I mean, they were all in fatigues.
Today's date?
Really run, and I got lucky. I got lucky.
Well, can't you consider it a vacation?
Mara.
26.
Hello, Goldie.
Hi, Goldie.
Goldie.
Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Goldie. Hi, Alan.
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Bye, shalom, Tom.
Shabbat shalom. Yo.
Goldie.
All of us.
You go. Here's one right here, Linda. Linda, you've got two screens going.
Oh, wow.
What was that?
Breathing.
Linda.
Wife is listening and cooking tonight.
Hi, Susan Board.
Hi, who was that?
How you doing?
Hey,
Susan Board.
Hi, Susan.
Hi,
Linda,
everybody.
Linda, close
Linda
that one.
Weinstein, if you have two screens going, you're getting feedback, so you need to close one of them.
Yes, thank you. I like keeping.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mute myself.
This is your 2-minute warning. So if you have to go get a cup of coffee or do anything personal, or
Thanks, Ed.
you now have 1 minute and 50 seconds to do it.
Susan, I like your hair.
Thank you, whoever.
I'll go get my
I usually ring.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Passover.
Yes.
Thank you.
To you too.
Face up.
Oh,
How you doing, Rabbi?
Hi
Never
there.
better, never better.
Cantor, it's done, okay? Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All of the nice people with faces.
Murray, before we get started, please add your last name to your screen.
I don't know how.
Oh, Murray already has it there. Okay, thank you.
I don't know how.
Goldie, that must
You're
be.
welcome.
Is that Linda?
All righty. Gene, are you in charge, Gene? Are you in the control panel?
Yes, I think so.
Only for a couple more minutes, then the rabbi will take over. Or
Yeah.
Cantor.
Rock
Or
and roll
both of you.
heaven. Yeah, we'll be in charge, in which case, meeting adjourned.
Hi, Cole.
Good evening, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom. As a reminder, before we get started, on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. will be the congregational meeting to ratify the contract of Rabbi Maya Glasser so that you'll be able to join the temple. Thank you very much. I'm going to mute everybody, and then Rabbi and Cantor will both unmute.
All righty. I think I'm unmuted. I hope the Cantor is unmuted. I don't know. She keeps moving around. Where are you, Carrie?
I'm not, I promise I'm staying still.
No, you were over there and now you're over there. It's like, it's like follow the Remember that was the things with the driving, or you're too young?
The bouncing ball?
You're too young. Yeah, you're too, never mind. I don't want to get into that. Depressed me even more. Okay, Shabbat Shalom. Almost Chag Sameach. Another 24 hours from now, you'll be back in Egypt, or close enough. So this is what we're going to be doing tonight, because I wanted to bring you some ideas in the course of the Seder. The Haggadah is one of the most dynamic aspects of our tradition. So I have assembled, I have a collection of Haggadot, two of which I cannot find because I really wanted to find them. They're somewhere in this house. But I'm going to point out some Haggadot to you. And the theme really is that we're part of a tradition that is constantly evolving, constantly changing. And so I want to walk you through some of that stuff and some of the new Haggadot, some of the traditional Haggadot. Some of you may have, other than the Maxwell House Haggadah, which is horrible, or the 2-minute Haggadah, which is online from the last couple of years, the 2-minute Seder, or the 30-second Seder, which goes like, they hate us, they wanted to kill us, God saved us, let's eat, which is online as well. Everything's online. I mean, you don't have to, and we'll be online Sunday night at 6 p.m. Be there, be square. Cantor Barry has, through her genius, put together tremendous Seder and like the women's Seder. So hopefully we'll see you. Anyway, we're going to welcome you. We're going to start off, and we're going to be on our regular Friday night format. So we're going to start off with a few melodies before I introduce some other stuff. Maya Hayom, Cantor, is that what we're starting with? Rock and Roll Heaven. Take it away, Cantor Barry.
Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat, Shalom. And now we're going to head to the bottom of the page. Zamru Adonai.
And let's move right to page 2, if it's okay, Canterbury, and if you'll lead us, do us the honor of lighting these candles. Shabbat. This is the Shabbat that precedes Passover, and in our tradition is called the Great Sabbath, Shabbat Hagadol. It's one of these rare years where Shabbat Hagadol literally ends with the first Seder. So on page 2.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who join us in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav letzivanu lehadlik ner lehadlik ner.
So as I mentioned before, the Haggadah is it's probably the most dynamic, changing, constantly changing aspects that we have, ritual elements that we have in the tradition. So here's your first toss-up question for those of you who want to buzz in to see what we have. How many of you tomorrow night, whether you're doing a virtual Seder or you're going to have a small pod at your house, how many, and I can only see 25 on the screen, so how many of you will have, and how do you know what I'm going to ask, Gene? You know, raising your hand, you're raising your hands, you and Janie. Okay, how many of you would like to give me $10,000? Thank you very much, Janie. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know where to send it. How many of you tomorrow night will have an orange on your Seder plate? Raise your hand. Okay. Somebody, Karen, tell me, Karen, unmute, Karen. Just hit it if it won't unmute. Today, Karen, today, you can't unmute.
There
right.
we go. Okay.
Right.
I'm on
right.
my iPad. So it originally had to do with homosexual situation, and now it has changed to women that it represents.
Well, not quite. You're halfway right. The orange on the Seder plate is stemmed allegedly, allegorically, and I think she's admitted this, from Susanna Heschel in a conversation, who is Abraham Joshua Heschel's daughter, about a conversation she was once having many years ago about the LGBTQ inclusion, and the orange represents now in modern Judaism on the Seder plate LGBTQ inclusion in the Jewish community. The women, and we're oh, here we go. So Karen, this is one of the things, I'll do this now, I was going to save this for later. So this is one of the Haggadot I was going to show you. This is from coming out of the women's movement. This is one of the women's Haggadot that has been published called The Open Door. And this was one of the first Haggadot to institutionalize Kos Miriam, which we'll do Sunday night. Kos Miriam, Kos is the Hebrew for cup. Miriam is the Hebrew for Miriam, Moses' sister. And now many Seders, ours included, and hopefully yours, will have an extra cup of a spring water on the Seder table to symbolize the feminist movement, the Jewish women's movement, and it stems from the passage in the book of Exodus with Miriam dancing and spring water of purification. So these are two of the very, very modern things. This is constantly, if you go online, there are new prayers and ideas for prayers being written daily. I probably get about 3 or 4 a day in the last week of people from every social justice, highest immigration, offering prayers. If you did all the prayers, your Seder would last probably until Thursday. But here's a prayer that a colleague of mine, I was doing a class for his congregation on one day this week, because I've been teaching every day, that he sent me. This is from Rabbi Naomi Levy, and we're going to start my Seder tomorrow night with this. This is a prayer that is written for COVID, and it is a prayer giving thanks for science and the vaccine. This is how, again, this is which was basically saying we begin our Seder tonight with an expression of thanksgiving. We're able to come together in love while we mourn the loss of the millions of people around the world who contracted the virus and died from it. And while we continue to hope for the full recovery of all those who remain affected by it, we are grateful that we have been able to receive the vaccine. So we begin tonight with a prayer. I have been praying for this day, and now it is here with great excitement and a touch of trepidation, and with great, deep gratitude. I give thanks to all the scientists who toiled day and night so that I might receive this tiny vaccination that will protect me and all souls around this world with the pandemic still raging. I am blessed to do my part to defeat it. Let this be the beginning of a new day, a new time of hope, joy, and freedom, and most of all, of health. I thank you, God, for blessing me with life, for sustaining my life, and for enabling me to reach this awe-filled moment. So this is literally just written, and it's making its way around. I just sent it to some other people. This is a lovely way to remind that, the Seder and the Haggadah are constantly evolving aspects of our tradition, and I'll have tons more to share with you later on. So we're going to begin or continue with welcoming the Shabbat bride on page 4 with the Lecha Dodi, and we'll move right into Chatzi Kaddish and Borchu. For those of you who choose to rise, you may do so in either body or spirit. If you are comfortable and do not feel the need, it is perfectly acceptable in the Zoom world to be comfortable and stay seated, as long as the kavanah of the prayer is there. Page 4, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabilah. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabilah. Shamor Zachor B'Timurecha, Ish Lianu El Miluchan, Adonai Echad, Ushmo Echad, Shemu Tiferet V'li Tehillah, Lecha Dodi Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabilah. Lecha Dodi Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabilah. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikenen netucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshavat chila. Lecha Dodi Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekabilah. Lecha Dodi Lecha Kalai, Alai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, לקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך אורי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לחתותי לכלה, יאללה, 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 ידי שבת, לכבלה, לחתותי לכלה, יאללה, 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 ידי שבת, לכבלה. בואי לשלום הטרף עלה, גם בשמחה וצהלה, כך אמוני ימשיגו לה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחתותי לי חלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת. לקבלה, לחתותי לכלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. יקדש מין רבה,
Amen.
ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בכל וביום יכול ובחיי בכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לילה מן כה בחטא ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן מימה נאמרו אמן.
You may be seated if you're standing. I want to thank Tom and Jenny for channeling the Torah portion for this week of Tzav, the majority of which talks about sacrifices. And sometimes in the Torah, the odor of the sacrifices waft up to heaven, thereby pleasing God. So Tom and Jenny, the odor of the brisket, which is pleasing to so many, you probably did not know that you were actually channeling this week's Torah portion. So congratulations. Don't worry, when you get to Tazria Mitzor, which is the acne leprosy skin blemish, don't do that to a portion. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Just stick with the brisket and the chicken soup. It's much better. God is much happier, she tells me, with the brisket. There's a variety of different Haggadot. I just want to show you some of them from we have. This is a Sephardic Haggadah. For those from the some of you may be Sephardic. The Mediterranean traditions, which have different food customs, as you know. You can eat certain things if you're from Morocco that you can't eat if you're from Poland or New York. Unless you want to become Moroccan for 7 days, which we do have people who do that. This is an Elie Wiesel Haggadah that he wrote, he edited from many, many years ago. And here's one, just about every Jewish organization puts out a Haggadah. This is from an inclusive social justice from the American Jewish World Service Haggadah. These are all, readily available. And on the idea of prayers, because the Passover Seder has so many different nuances of meaning, and literally we could be here for hours just talking about, if you want to have a very, very interesting interpretation, if you go to my JewishSacredAging.com website, our colleague Steve Moss wrote this very, very interesting Kabbalistic interpretation of Pardes and how it relates to the Haggadah. But prayers are written by people to express a variety of different things. This is from a friend of mine, a colleague of mine. Actually, he's the rabbi of the congregation where my kids belong and where my son-in-law is the executive director. Ben David. Rabbi David is a cancer survivor. So some of you may on the call, in services tonight, you may know somebody who has survived cancer. And so what he did a couple of years ago when he was cleared at University of Pennsylvania Hospital, he wrote a series of meditations, which we long ago put on the website. One for a prayer for those experiencing cancer, but a prayer for those who have survived cancer. So you may know somebody who has walked this walk and has completed this pathway like the Seder through the wilderness, the emptiness of chemotherapy and radiation. Just listen to this. Dear God, we come to this Seder tonight with hearts full of thanks. As a people, we have experienced both the narrowness of slavery as well as the broad expanse brought on by newfound freedom. Just as Jews across time have celebrated the festival of Passover with joy and gratitude, so do we now embrace this sacred time. And yet we come here not only grateful for our freedom, but ever thankful for our health. To have endured cancer is to have endured a test of faith. We were wounded by illness and often devastated by the very path to recovery. We ventured from one plague to the next. There was the darkness of exhaustion, the pain of side effects, the loss of will, the uncertainty of tomorrow, and still we emerged on the shores of new life and new possibility. On this Passover night, we thank you, God, for our health. With great emotion, we experience the story of our people anew and recall now the dancing of Moses, Miriam, and every Israelite as they acknowledge their miraculous existence. Amen. Again, this is just another example of the ability to be creative and to bring one's own personal journey. Because remember, the wilderness experience that we will reenact tomorrow night and Sunday night is a metaphor for each one of our own lives. We all struggle to be free. We all struggle to bring sense out of a meaning of our own journey in our own spiritual and psychological wilderness, in hopes to get to some promised land. It's everybody's story, which is why the Seder is the most attended ritual in Jewish tradition, more than the high holidays. More people will go to a Seder, even virtually, than they will do because as opposed to the holidays, which are more ceremonial, the Seder in many ways is personal, because a lot of us of a certain age have walked through narrow places and had to struggle. So in celebration of that, page 7, join with the cantor in the Shema and the V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'alahem. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'alahem. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtacha v'meitecha u'lachtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam amezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On page 8, I want us to do this prayer in the middle of the page. It precedes the Micha Mocha, which is this song of liberation, which of course fits into this particular Shabbat. But this prayer is really, I don't see the problem with Zoom is you can't see who's here and who's not here all the time. So I don't see Felice. Is Felice at services? Okay, I guess she's not. Okay, so this is her. She told me it's her favorite prayer. This is given what's happened in the world the last couple of weeks with this gun stuff, and you're not going to get a sermon on gun violence. My own personal opinion is if you have there's no reason anybody have an AR-15 or guns. There's just none. And period, end discussion. And period. But with the tragedies that it's going on right now with Atlanta and Boulder, Colorado, with the tension right now as we speak in Minneapolis with the trial of George Floyd about to begin, with the craziness of what's going on in Israel, with the election and the fact that Netanyahu's government is going to probably go in bed with the most right-wing, anti-liberal groups of people in the history of the state of Israel, given the rise in anti-Semitism, anti-Asian violence, white supremacy, all of this and the horror and the tragedy of what's going on the southern border. This is a prayer that speaks to that. Goldie, do you have that? Can I impose upon you in honor of your tree and the garden, and which is symbolic of hope? Could you lead us in this prayer on page 8, when evil darkens our world?
I don't have it.
Oh, you're using the book. We're using the thingy. Okay, no. Okay, so you know something, rather than no. You just follow along with me. Harriet, go ahead. Unmute, 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 unmute. 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 Once, twice. Go ahead.
Where the evil darkens our world,
Together,
let us
be the
be
bearers
the
of.
bearers of light.
Go ahead.
When fists are clenched in self-righteousness rage, let our hands be open for the sake of peace. When injustice shams doors of the ill, the poor, the old, and the stranger, let us pry the doors open. Where shelter is lacking, let us be the builders. Where food and clothing are needed, let us be providers. Where knowledge is denied, let us be the champions of learning. When dissent is stifled, let our voices speak truth in prayer. When the earth and the creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. Where bias, greed, its creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. When bias, greed, and bigotry erode our country's values, let us proclaim liberty throughout the land. In the places where no one acts like a human being, let us bring courage. Let us bring compassion. Let us bring humanity.
The Micha Mocha. Thank you, Harriet. And on the top of page 9, the evening prayer, the bedroom prayer before we go to sleep. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomrei l'chaim ufros alinu sukat shalomecha. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us a shelter of peace. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence, we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Ushmor Tzaitenu Voenu Lechaim Shalom Yatav Yarolam Baruch Atah Adonai Pares Sukat Shalom Ulina V'al Kol Amo Yisrael Va'al Yerushalayim, as we say, Amen. On page 10, the Shamru Cantor.
Israel odi le'olam Yishamru b'nei Yisrael HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים מסר אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ונפש, שבת ונפש, שבת ונפש, ושמרו בני ישראל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
And on page 11, we rise in either body or spirit and join with the tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha.
I have to move that.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, Rezocher Chasdei Ha'avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל
HaKadosh.
So I wanted to point out a couple of other very interesting new Haggadot. This is this huge, the light here is bad, but you can't see. It's a very hard, it's a hardback, hardcover Haggadah. Came out several years ago, filled with all kinds of commentaries, artwork, original artwork. So for example, that phrase, God saved us with a strong army, Bayad Chazakah, a strong arm. This is a representation of the Hebrew artistically. It's very, very, it's almost too pretty to use at a Seder because you don't want to spill the wine all over it. No. This is another one, which for those of you who are more holistic than supernatural, this is the holistic Haggadah. The holistic Haggadah. God rarely gets a mention. And this is for those of you, any mental health professionals who are this in every step along the 13 or 14 steps in the Seder. Not only is the ritual there, but there's a sort of like psycho-spiritual interpretation. So in the Manash Tanah, the 4 questions, okay? Manash Tanah Halal, well, you know that. Why? So they have a psycho-spiritual interpretation to each one of these passages. So this is an interpretation, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, don't worry. On the Manash Tanah, this is not what you will find in a normal, probably the Haggadah that you're using. Certainly the Haggadah, we use the Baskin Haggadah, the old CCR Haggadah. Some of you may still remember the Union Haggadah, which you could do the whole service in about, 10 minutes. Oh, yes. So you read the 4 questions, the Manash Tanah, and then you have this psycho-spiritual interpretation, which starts with, and remember, the youngest child is supposed to say this. Give your inner child a voice. Let it ask the questions. This is her night or his night too. On Tisha B'Av, we ask the question, Echa, how am I living my life? On Rosh Hashanah, the question is, Ayeka, where am I in my life? And on Pesach, the question is, Ma, what am I? A slave to Pharaoh or a servant to God? Don't ever stop asking. Never be too frightened to ask. And then goes on playing around with some of the images like Exodus and the Mitzrayim, the narrow places. Remember, this is a contemporary interpretation, and it goes on continuing throughout all the various sections of the Haggadah, giving contemporary, holistic, mind, body, spirit interpretations to the traditional rubrics of the Haggadah, to the Seder service. It's pretty cool. And it's published by the Urim company, URIM. And if you go to the Great God Google, if you're interested in it, and just Google holistic with an H, Haggadah. So that's 2 things. And I have one more very, very powerful Haggadah to show you. And that really fits in perfectly when we get to that part after the Misha Berach. But why don't you join Cantor Barry on page 14 with the Shalom Rav.
Shalom Yisrael Hasim Leolam. Shalom Yisrael Hasim Leolam. Yatzal Melech Adon Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. 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 Hasim Leolam. Hasim Leolam.
We pause for a moment, a few moments of silent meditation and private prayer.
Say Shalom Rabba. Say Shalom Aleichem. Ve'elkol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Ya'kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Ya'kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Ya'kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So as I mentioned, this is a particularly tough week for many people in our country, and so much sadness, so much tragedy, so much violence, so much anxiety, and still the pandemic, over 500,000 people, and with the trickle down of all the friends and family that it's affected by that. So when we pray our Mishaberach prayer, it really is for not only body, but like that holistic Haggadah that I just mentioned, body and soul and spirit. Because I think all of us, each one of us, over a year into this, and still knowing that we're going to be staying in sort of like limbo for several months, each one of our souls perhaps needs a little healing. So let's remember that, to take care of ourselves, please. That's very important. To wear that mask, don't take chances. Even if we're vaccinated, don't take chances. Your health is more important than anything, and the people around you. So we will pray this Mishaberach prayer for not only our own souls, but for those who lie on the bed of illness, who deal with physical pain, mental pain. And we thank the caregivers the first responders, the people who have helped carry us, literally accompanying us through this last year and more. And so we name those in the midst of this congregational family: Greg Alexander, Carol Babcock, Rosalie Teddy Bono, Cantor Joel Bressler, Dr. David Cassius, Tom Davis, Devorah Bat Rochel, Art Fields, Amanda Grammadia, Jim Grant, Mary Hartman, Robert Kay, Mike Latinik, Marilyn Levitt, Teresa Levy, Barbara McDonald, Moshe David Ben-Yetta, Gary Nadler, Naomi Nagel, David Osofsky, Laura Osofsky, Buddy Pollock, Jean Posen, Joyce Racklin, Randall Rout, Sandra Resnikoff, Alex Rosen, Stephanie Sibilia, Ruthie Silver, Ron Sohn, Bernice Tobias, Lois Van Alstine, David Van Alstine, Ruth Van Alstine, Judy Van Gorder, Michael Balsam. We remember also, listen, those families and friends and loved ones of those people from Boulder and Atlanta. We also had the name Dr. Daniel Gottlieb, Cantor. You have other names.
Yes, we add to those names this evening: Pat Parker, Liz Hall, Nicholas Sobak, Karen Mitchum, Kathy Schwartz, Dan Weinstock, Mike Arnold, Evelyn Seltzer Kahn, Vera Benjamin, Elaine Powell, Sandra Spear, the Emanuel family in Connecticut, Lori Kurland, Bruce Emanuel, Malka Klein, Holly Martindale.
For those we have named in public, and for those whose names we still carry in the privacy of our own souls, please join Cantor Barry with the Mishabera.
May the source of strength will bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. We shall bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Okay, before we move to the Aleinu, I want to share with you one other Haggadah that I found several years ago. It's probably the most powerful Haggadah I own. How many of you are veterans? Any veterans? Any no veteran? Wow. Any veterans from World War II? Any veterans from World War II? I can't see the other screen. Wow, no one. That's amazing. I know. Wow. Yeah. So, this is a Haggadah called the Survivors Haggadah. I'm going to hold it up like this. Okay. The Survivors Haggadah. Has anybody seen this? Does anybody have this at home? Have it in their collection? This is a Haggadah. Well, you know, rather than tell you, let me read you the front of the book. This is published in 2000 by the Jewish Publication Society, so it is in print. If you would like this to add this to your collection, the Survivors Haggadah, written, designed, and illustrated by Yosef Dov Scheinson, with woodcuts by Michlos Adler, both having been among the Sherit HaPleta, the remnant that escaped. Originally published in Munich in 1946 for the first Passover after the liberation of the camps and printed by the United States Army of Occupation. This is a representation, this is a facsimile of the Haggadah. This is a Haggadah that was written by those who survived the concentration camps. And it was done right after, in the DP camps, after World War II, by a chaplain. The history is in here, okay? And it takes all the traditional parts of the Haggadah, and it is a brutal Haggadah. This is, we're gonna put one of the sections on. I asked Canterbury to put a slide up for Sunday night. The Dayenu, which I'm not going to read because it's long. The Dayenu really is, it is powerful. It will grab your soul. But the art in here are woodcuts. You probably can't see them very well. They're woodcuts that depict the aspects of the Seder, so the Haggadah, the Passover story, but they're tinged. They're you can see all the woodcuts are dark and brutal, because all the woodcuts, like this is, we were slaves, and really what you're talking about is people working in the camps as slaves in the concentration camps. This is a very, very difficult Haggadah, but I wanted to show you the length and breadth of all these Haggadah, and there's hundreds more. But I did want to share with you this, and if there's any one that this, again, Jewish Publication Society, JPS, jps.com or jps.org, I don't know which one, but this is to read this, and you're reading passages that were written by people who got out, who escaped, and relating it to slavery in Egypt and liberation and hope. And it is a very, very powerful Haggadah, and one that a lot of people aren't aware of that exists. But I wanted to share this with you. And again, on Sunday night, we're going to do the Dayenu from this, and then hopefully we'll sing a happy Dayenu, because the Dayenu in here is very, very difficult. So again, in this little brief service tonight, what I wanted to do is try to share with you some of the creativity from the Orange and the Kos Miriam and Ben's prayer for surviving cancer, and just a sampling of all the different types of Haggadot, from children's to the survivors to holistic Haggadot to traditional ones to Sephardic ones to artistic ones. Again, this is a constantly evolving art form in many ways in Jewish tradition. And every year there's something new. And so this year, a lot of colleagues, a lot of people will be using prayers that have been coming out late, especially in the last 10 days, about the immigration issue, about guns, about violence, about a tremendous number of things. And some of you remember, maybe you remember in the 70s during the Soviet Jewry years, when we were, and we had an extra matzah that was dedicated to the Soviet Jews. So this is constantly being adapted and updated. So just a taste, just a little Vorspeise which I think is the right word, to whet your appetite for tomorrow night and Sunday night, but more about that later. We're going to conclude the service. I'm going to ask you to rise in either body or spirit on page 18, and join with the cantor and the Aleinu, and then we'll go right into the meditation before Kaddish and Kaddish.
שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thoughts now turn to those who have departed from this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and of loss, of life and of death. I just want to make sure that this week, from last week to this week, is there anybody observing Shiva? Because I don't have a name on the list.
I don't believe in.
And for Shloshim, we observed in those Lois Zoller, Howard Enzel, and Carol Brody. And we recall the names of those, the anniversary of whose death is observed in this congregation on this Shabbat. Dr. Michael Albin, Martin Asher, Isaac Baer, Beverly Benjamin, Mike Berkeley, MD, Mary S. Block, Natalie Bloom, Bernard D. Cohn, David Cooperman, Rosalind Finger, Mary Friedman, Beulah M. Goldman, Charlotte Goldstein, Dr. Alvin Green, Dale Jean Hadson, Daniel Jacobson, Dr. Thelma Jones, Stanley Kaplan, Rose Dubinsky Karp, Simon Kessler, Edith Klein, Beatrice Lazin, Solomon Lubo, Arthur S. Munster, Joe Newman, William Nortman, Selma Olisker, Annette Marco Keenan, Josina von Boven Podhauser, Sam Siegel, David Silver, Harold Silver, Philip Silverstein, Yetta Manis Spiert, Samuel B. Spira, Julius Teitelbaum, Simpson, Robert Walker Sr., Jack Yanoff. Do we have any other names, Cantor, that people would like to bring forward?
Not at this.
We name also and remember those taken in the gunshot and in the violence, both in Boulder and in Atlanta. For all those we have named publicly, and for those of our loved ones we still hold in our hearts, no matter what day, especially as we dawn on Passover, and we become very, very much aware, especially around the Seder, of those empty chairs, of the people who shared those Seders with us. And they will be with us again in spirit tomorrow night and over this weekend. As we embrace all of them in love and in memory, on page 20, I'd ask you to rise in body or spirit as a community as we say together the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yamav divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayid kol beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach l'olam olamei olamaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalo shemei dekudasha brichu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chaim yaleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav. Huya asei shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. The one who brings peace on high, bring comfort to all who may be bereaved, as we say together, amen. And I had it written down. Don't go away. Christy Rosen. Where are you, Christy?
Right here. Hi.
Oh, there you are, hiding. You
Hi.
just popped up there. And Christy has been given the honor of doing all the announcements. So take it away, Christy.
Yes, and please bear with me because we have a lot to cover. Thank you, Rabbi Address and Canterbury and Shabbat Shalom. We continue to worship, learn, and engage with our community virtually on Zoom. Starting tomorrow, Saturday, March 27th, we have Torah study with Rabbi Address at 9 a.m. and Shabbat morning worship with Rabbi Address and Canterbury at 10:30. Sunday, the Passover morning service with Rabbi Address and Canterbury is at 10:30. And then the Passover congregational service with Rabbi Address and Canterbury is at 6 p.m. On Monday, March 29th, there is no introduction to Judaism for the week of Passover. Tuesday, March 30th, Wisdom with Lori Simmons at 10:30. And as Jean Myers already told you at the beginning, the special congregational meeting will vote on the ratification of our contract with Rabbi Maya Glasser at 7 p.m. Please join us. And very exciting news, if you've been following along with temple announcements, we will be returning to our sanctuary for Saturday morning worship beginning April 10th. Attendance will be restricted and reservations necessary. Please check your temple emails as further information becomes available. Save the date for the Jaffe. Jaffe's hosting a beach cleanup on Saturday, April 17th. There will be more details to come. And just a heads up, keep it ever present when you shop on Amazon, as we all do. Remember to support Temple at Amazon Smiles, and you can add the Temple as your beneficiary for donations. Any other information's in the Temple Times. Further Temple events can be found online in our Week at a Glance, the Temple Times, Temple website, and the Messenger. Catch our social media postings on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and check our YouTube channel at thetemplejax.org for recorded services and programs. And lastly, happy Passover.
Well done, Christy. Well done. And for the end of Pesach, next Shabbat, will be Torah study, and then we'll move into Shabbat, but it's the closing, so it'll be the also include Yizkor, because as you know, the three pilgrimage festivals, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, end with a small Yizkor service. So that will be the regular time frame next Shabbat, which I think is April already, believe it or not. It's April. Yes, because Rosh Hashanah Sheni is Thursday, which is a minor holiday, not for you, but it is a holiday for me. And I'll leave you to figure out what Rosh Hashanah Sheni is. It's a very well observed holiday. Kiddush Motzi, Canterbury's laughing because she probably has figured it out.
Billy's
All right,
day.
yes. Yes, Kiddush Motzi, and then you're going to do Avadim Hayinu? Yes.
Well, we'll do Kiddush Motzi, and then it's a mashup, a little Avadim Hayinu into Am Yisrael Chai.
Get everybody ready. Yes. Okay.
Because it's perfect, because we were slaves, and then we were free, and then the people of Israel live. Am Yisrael Chai.
Wow, heavy. All right. So what do you want?
I'm just joining you. That's all.
Okay. Don't.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon
הנחי לנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו ובחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
Chaim. You have the challah there?
Smells so good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Promise this will be gone before Passover begins.
That's something to look forward to.
This is a house with a lot of boys.
Well, that's true. That's true. It could be gone by 11 o'clock tonight.
That's right. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin. We were slaves, now we are free. Oh, no capo. Do that. No capo. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael chai. 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 Odavinu chai, Odavinu chai. Odavinu, Odavinu, Odavinu chai. Odavinu chai, Odavinu chai. Odavinu, Odavinu, Odavinu chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 chai. Odavinu chai, Odavinu chai. Odavinu, Odavinu, Odavinu chai. Odavinu chai, Odavinu chai. Odavinu, Odavinu, Odavinu chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 chai.
See you all tomorrow morning. Torah study at 9, worship at 10:30. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Enjoy that brisket. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay well.
Thank you. Wonderful
Harriet
share.
Cohen, is you there? Cohen, are you there?
Beautiful service.
Harriet leave? She left.
Shabbat Shalom, one and all.
Take care, everybody.
Shalom. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rob. Bob. Take
Shabbat Shalom.
care. Take care.
Shabbat Shalom.
Harriet. You can't hear me? Can Harriet hear me? Harriet, check your email. Check your mail. Before everybody-
Good job.
Good
Shabbos.
job. Shabbat shalom. Hot
Hi,
Shabbos.
everybody.
Okay.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom.
One right here. Where she goes. Shabbos, everybody's leaving out.
Are you finished cooking?
No.
Oh no, not even close. The hours of this to go, I'm sure.
Still have to make the harosis.
Oh,
Roses, yeah. Still. Hey,
sounds
Harriet.
like you have a good meal.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yes, yes, it's gonna be great.
Harriet, you gotta unmute. Unmute. David, you got somewhere to go?
Yeah, I got somewhere to go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Welcome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, well, we're gonna have chicken, not brisket, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, she has a great chicken recipe too, but we're
Well,
talking
I'm
about.
not doing the cooking. I'm going to someone's house. They're doing the chickens.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna have the rest of the stuff is gonna be the usual.
Uh-huh.
And when I eat my meal on through the Zoom second night, I'm gonna have lamb.
There you go.
I always have. If I do it, I always have lamb.
Ah, there you go. Lamb. That's good.
I love lamb, so I got a big lamb shank waiting.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know. Leg of lamb. Haven't had lamb in a long time, but I remember it. Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't cook it. I don't cook it. I either get it frozen or takeout. But it's still, I still have it part of the Seder.
Right.
Last year I had it. I did have it also. Even if I did it my own Seder and myself, but we weren't going to anybody's house or having anybody over. So last year I had my own.
David, the weirdest thing my wife and I have talked about, we can't even remember last Passover. I don't know what happened.
We don't know what
we were trying to think of what we did and stuff, and I don't even remember it, I'm sure we did.
You did nothing. You ate at home. I don't even know. We didn't have a service even on Zoom. I don't remember it.
No, I don't think it was. It was very different. Very different.
Yeah, but I did have my, I got my meal last year from that pastiche, and then I had my lamb shank. Yeah. One of the meals I had it, and that's what I had at home. But this year, I'm going out to a Seder, and Sunday I'll be here on the thing, because that's all there is.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know anybody that's having a second night Seder myself.
Well, really, yeah. We just Saturday night seems to be the great time to have it. We're having 2 other people over. There'll be 4 of us, and it'll be just fine.
That's good. I'm going to a Seder that's having 7 people.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Originally there were 9, but now there are 7.
Oh, okay. I hope all is well with the other 2. All right, David, you have a good